Hello Dungeon Masters and Adventurer types alike. It is Volume 2 today of my Monster Maker series, 10 new abilities to give to the creatures that you create for your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition games. Today's theme, Darkness and Shadow. For all things that go bump in the night do need new abilities to test the might of your player characters. Download below. It's free. You're watching The Dungeon Geek. Hey, thank you for joining me today. Before we begin here today, I just want to do a quick recap of kind of the mechanical structure of the Monster Maker handouts, just to clear up any questions that may arise whenever you download these things. There are going to be certain fields within the description of each ability that are left blank by me intentionally, and these are things that you can fill out of your own accord. Naturally, things like creature names are easy, or attack names, those are things that kind of write themselves, whether it's using a longsword or a claw or a boot, whatever. Other things like the difficulty challenges or the amount of damage or the scale of the damage that the thing does are usually based in and around what hit dice level the creature is that you're creating. There's lots of good resources for those out there on the web. One of the things that I suggest you check out is a blog called The Angry GM. He's got a couple of breakdowns that are really long posts about how to create monsters, and it's probably the best I've seen so far, so I'm going to put a link to that in here in the description below. I have a quick start guide to monster creation that will give you kind of a range of what the damage per round of the monster it is that you're creating should be. It's a good place to start. It's by no means perfect. Free description below. Hey, all that out of the way, let's just move on. Darkness and Shadow, Monster Maker Volume 2. Let's get started. D&D as a whole has a bunch of really great mythology, especially in the Forgotten Realms when it comes to darkness and shadow. All of these abilities are great to add to any creature that has kind of a darkness or shadow pantheon behind it, or creatures that come from other dimensions like the Shadowfell or like the Upside Down from Stranger Things. I'm going to go over 3 of my favorite abilities from this sheet, but feel free to download the entire thing in the link below and check out all 10 abilities and keep them in your records to use for your games. So, my top 3 favorite abilities from this sheet. Number 3, Shadow Jaunt. Now, this is an ability that was pulled over from 4th edition and perhaps previous editions as well. If you're a Marvel fan, this is very similar to Nightcrawler's Bamf ability. It's where he's able to disappear and reappear somewhere else. It functions similar to Misty Step, so as long as your creature is in dim light, they should be able to disappear and reappear, either to escape or flank or heal themselves. It's up to you. Get tactical during this dark combat. Number 2, Conjure Shadowgate. This is stolen directly from Stranger Things. As an action, the creature can create a portal that links corresponding locations on the material plane to the Shadowfell. Feel free to change what dimensional space this is, if it's not the Shadowfell in your campaign, of course. It is a gate that opens that is relatively the same size as the creature that created it, and it slowly closes back up. And in bright light, it disappears completely. Feel free to add really creepy descriptors to it, like slime and sludge and other sort of entropic materials that are kind of bridging the gap between these two worlds. So my number 1 ability, really just from a mechanical point of view in combat, is Umbral Web. This is an ability that you can give to your creatures that functions very similar to the web spell. However, these webs are made of pure coalesced darkness. So if someone gets caught up in them, not only are they restrained, but they're also blinded. And they can't be destroyed with normal fire, just sunlight. Think of the possibilities. Think of the terrible things you can do to your players. Love it. Hey, that's it for now, but download this sheet right now, Darkness and Shadow, Monster Maker Volume 2, and see all 10 of these free abilities that you can add to the creatures in your game. And please, know that these are just a template. Use your own imagination, create tons of cool characters for your game. And please, check out all the free assets that are available at thedungeongeek.wordpress.com. Check out this YouTube channel. Subscribe to it if you really like the content. That way you're notified anytime that a new video and new content is available to download. Until next time, this is The Dungeon Geek.